This is part of the Now Explained Computerizing a Manual Bookkeeping System series. This presentation is linked with the Now Explained Manual Bookkeeping series of videos. If you're watching this video on YouTube, you can find the manual version video also on YouTube, such as the Sales Invoice Daybook, the Sales Credit Note Daybook, and the Sales Invoice Daybook with analysis. This presentation will use the same data as that used in the manual bookkeeping series, and so customer, supplier and general ledger balances will all be numerically the same. The ultimate goal is to provide you with a way of comparing a manual bookkeeping system to a computerized bookkeeping system. This presentation will show you how the operation of a computerized bookkeeping system will differ to a manual bookkeeping system. So the Sales Invoice Daybook, what it is and why we need this daybook. So manual bookkeeping, there's no computers. We have pen and paper bookkeeping. We use daybooks, your books of original entry, also known as first entry or prime entry daybooks. We're collecting information from the source documents. Computerized bookkeeping, we're replacing the paper books. The computer and bookkeeping software, which it does not include spreadsheets, which are not allowed. Source documents are required. Everything is integrated and linked. Duplication is removed. You can record much more detail. There's no column limits as with a paper book. So related daybooks, the Sales Daybook is a combined Sales Invoice Daybook and a Sales Credit Note Daybook. The Bank Receipts Daybook will also exist in a computerized bookkeeping system. And similar and related terms used: customer, debtors, account receivable, receipts, money in, lodgements, electronic funds, transfer, EFT, and payments. We don't need this handwritten daybook anymore. We have on-screen displays. So here, an on-screen display, there's no need for paper books. All our invoices and credit notes are listed on screen. We can have on screen our printed reports. So here's an example of a screen printed report. We have our sales invoice totals, and we have our sales credit note totals, and all our invoices and credit notes are listed on screen. So let's see how this sales invoice is recorded in our Sales Invoice Daybook. Here is where our sales invoice details are recorded in our Sales Daybook in our bookkeeping software. We see all the invoices and credit note listed. This is where we create our sales invoice to mirror the same way as it was done in our manual Sales Invoice Daybook. Here is the Sales Invoice data entry screen completed. This is the key difference between a manual bookkeeping system and a computerized system. We only need to enter the data once on this data entry screen, and then every other ledger, the customer ledger and all the general ledger accounts, are updated for you automatically by the software. A note: I for invoice was chosen as we are entering a sales invoice on this data entry screen. But before we start entering any transactions, we need to do some preparation. We need to set up customer account codes and customer details, product codes, description and prices. Without these, we can't enter our invoices. When this is completed, we can start entering our sales invoices. Here's the sales invoice with the data entry screen side by side. We have our account code. We have the invoice number, the date of the transaction, all the details, the stock that we sold on the invoice, and the net value and the VAT and the total of that invoice. We can enter the same information that was recorded in the manual bookkeeping system into our computerized bookkeeping software, but with our bookkeeping software, our customer ledger cards are immediately updated, our general ledger accounts are immediately updated. We only have to enter the data once on the data entry screen. And now we have that invoice in all places. Computerized bookkeeping takes away the need for writing the same sales invoice or sales credit note in different ledgers. When you enter a sales invoice or a sales credit note, all the linked ledgers are updated immediately. the customer ledger card, the general ledger sales account, the general ledger sales control account, or the debtors ledger, and the general ledger VAT control account. So all those linked ledgers were updated immediately. Also, any sales or customer report is now ready to be seen on screen or printed. So let's do a quick summary of what you've learned. There is some preparation work necessary before you can start entering data. A computerized system allows for more detail to be entered with every sales invoice or sales credit note. Each transaction entry updates every ledger immediately. A computerized system will allow for immediate sales and customer reporting. So if you want more information, please go to the website nowexplained.com. Thank you for watching.